smell the coffee. It's Monday here at Muscle in the Morning, and I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is November 12th, 2018. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I went through a short phase a few years ago where I got hooked on playing high-stakes poker because I love the adrenaline rush that I got from going all in with big money on the line. And I guess 212 standout Alex Cambronero can relate to that feeling, because it looks like he's about to go all in on the next phase of his off-season program. Last week we saw the Cambronero camp leak some photos of their current off-season conditioning, which I think was probably an undercover warning shot fired at a few guys in the division who were sitting directly in his radar. This season, Cambronero hit the highest peak of his career with that 8th place he brought home at the Mr. Olympia. And if he's at this starting point for the new year, this guy is going to be a complete monster to deal with come next spring. Michael Jordan said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So maybe that's the reason why Cody Montgomery has been out there letting off rounds non-stop throughout his entire off-season. New video dropped of the boy wonder cranking out another one of his legendary back day massacres, as he keeps the most productive off-season of his career rolling right along without a hitch. To his credit, it feels like Cody is in a really good place both mentally and physically right now. So as long as he can keep the positive juju flowing, hopefully he can roll right into 2019 and take on that first quarter schedule like the champ he was destined to be. I'm not gonna lie, I hit snooze about 3 times on my alarm this morning. And I seriously thought about staying in bed and doing nothing all day long, because quite frankly, my body hurts. But luckily for me, I had Charles Dixon to kick my butt back into gear. With his 2018 campaign officially in the books, Dixon and his crew are already back to work trying to get their game plan together to launch an all-out assault in what will be his 11th season on the Pro Tour. Once or twice a year, it feels like we see a vintage Tank performance where he finds a way to put it all together and completely wipe out the field. So if he can pull one of those out at a show like the Chicago Pro, we will see the whole narrative change heading into this year's Olympia, especially when you consider the fact that the 212 title is up for grabs in 2019. In the words of the legendary rap duo Eric B. and Rakim, don't sweat the technique. But when you max out a machine with 45s, and rep it out like it's your job the way Jeremy Potvin is doing now, I think you probably get a pass on the whole sweat thing. In celebration of International Chest Day, the 3-time Olympian released a new video from one of his latest Chest Day exploits, just to give his fans an inside look at what he's doing to pass the time on some of these chilly fall mornings. Even though he's been battling injuries over the last few years, this guy still has a few poses that rank right up there with some of the best guys in the division. So if he can finally get himself healthy and firing at max capacity, he's got plenty of juice in the tank to be a top-level competitor for years to come. Over here at RxMuscle, I'm always on the lookout for new talent who I believe has the potential to be a game changer at some point down the road. And at last weekend's Robert Bernacke Sports Festival, I think we might have unearthed a future classic physique star and overall champ, Dimitriy Vorotincev. I'll be honest, up until last week I had absolutely no clue who the St. Petersburg, Russia native even was. But by the time the 2019 season is all said and done, everyone in the division is going to know this guy's name. Vorotincev has shades of an early Chris Bumstead. Tiny waist, wide shoulders, and big flaring quads, not to mention the whole super Russian thing that makes him even more intriguing. Whether or not we see this guy take a pro stage at any point next year is still anyone's guess. But when you look at the tools that he's got to work with, he's exactly the kind of athlete we could be talking about as a potential top 10 Olympian next fall. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.